In this video, you will be learning Introduction to Effective Communication and Common Grammar Errors, the subtopics, meanings of communication, forms of communication, rules of communication, how communication problems happen. Meaning of common grammar errors, list of common grammar errors. Let's learn together. Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you. You're welcome to my channel. I am Samantha, a TED educator and an English and writing coach. On this channel, I will help you to master the English language in order to communicate fluently with confidence through writing and public speaking. So let's get started with effective communication. Meanings of communication. So communication is the act of imparting or exchanging information by speaking, writing, or using some other medium. So the other medium can be signs, symbols, or gestures. That is, the way you speak, the way you look at people when speaking to them is a form of communication. Your body language is a form of communication. So you need to be cognizant of how you stand, the kind of tone you use when speaking with people, because everything about you, the moment you're communicating with people, is a form of communication. So the second one, we have communication is the successful conveying or sharing of ideas and feelings. So when you converse with people and you share your ideas, your perspective, your opinions, your beliefs and feelings, you're communicating with the person. Lastly, communication is the act or process of using words, signs, sounds, or behaviors to express or exchange information, or to express your ideas, thoughts, feelings, etc. to someone else. I will be dwelling more on the second definition that says communication is the successful conveying or sharing of ideas and feelings. Since we are dealing with effective communication, which means the process of sharing information or speaking to people and they understand perfectly what you're trying to say. So communication is a successful sharing or conveying of ideas and feelings. When you talk to people, when you speak to people and they understand your ideas, understand all you're trying to say, you have successfully communicated effectively. When you share your ideas, it doesn't really have to be ideas, but let's assume you're having a discussion or you want to plan and you're trying to let them know how you feel about this planning, and you want to let them know these are the things you think they should do, and they understand what you're trying to say, they understand all that you're trying to say, you have successfully communicated effectively. Though in effective communication, they might ask questions that I don't understand this, but the moment you speak and they assure you that I understand all that you're trying to say, and with the feedback they give you, you can see that all that you're trying to say they have comprehended, then you have successfully communicated effectively. So moving on to the forms of communication, we have two main forms of communication. The first one is the verbal communication. The second is the non-verbal communication. So for the verbal communication, this appears in both written and spoken style, in the sense that verbal communication refers to our use of words, whether through speaking or writing. This might be confusing, but when you talk about something that is verbal, it has to do with the use of words. It doesn't matter if you're writing it or you're speaking. So far you're using words to communicate, you're being verbal. So, under the verbal communication, we have the written communication and the spoken communication. For the written communication involves any type of interaction that makes use of written words. That is, the words we write down. In short, it has to do with you writing, using your pen and your paper to pass across your information, to communicate. So when you use words and you put it down in a readable form, which can be through electronic means like Google Documents, text on WhatsApp, Facebook text, Facebook messages, WhatsApp messages, or simply pen and paper, you have communicated through the written form. And words are used to pass across feelings, emotions, thoughts, and ideas. by deploying the following styles through poetry, prose, which has to do with paragraph, drama, text messages, facts, etc., or simply through letter writing. To round this off, whenever you put down your ideas through written forms, it can be electronic, that is your WhatsApp messages, your Facebook messages, text, anything that has to do with electronics, anything that has to do with the internet, making use of social media, you have passed across your information through the written form, and it has to do with you texting or through pen and paper. You have successfully communicated through the written form. In spoken communication, it is communicating via the words of the mouth. That is, it includes the words we say aloud. And that is also called oral communication. When you say words out, hi, hello, and you produce the sounds through your mouth or through speaking, we call it the spoken communication, which also means the oral communication. So let's move on to the non-verbal communication. This refers to communication that occurs through means other than words, such as body language, gestures, and silence. Wow, that is beautiful. Being silent is a way of communicating. So let's get clarified on that. If you can recall, at the beginning of this video, I said your gestures is a way of communicating. The way you stand, your body posture, your body language is a way of communicating. So this non-verbal communication falls under the tone of your voice. That is, there is a difference between hey and hey. There is a difference between no, I won't do it and no, I won't do it. There's a difference between the two, and the tone of your voice is a way of communicating, because the way you said no and no, I won't do it, the second is quite violent. So your breathing also communicates. When you breathe, when you're talking to people and your breathing is not static, and the person will know that, oh, I think this person is not feeling too well, or this person is sick or sad. So the look on your face also denotes communication. The way you look, you can easily send someone away by your look. When you look at a person disdainfully, that person will know that this person doesn't want me around. So your gestures, how your body moves when you speak, also helps you to communicate. Rules of communication. So these are some of the rules involved in communication, not all. So firstly, identify the setting before you speak. That is the place where you are communicating. Look around. Are you communicating in the formal setting, in the sense that are you communicating with your boss or with your friends? The way you speak to your boss is different from the way you speak to your friends. So note that. So anything you will say in the formal setting, that is speaking with people you're not familiar with, your boss, the governor, you try to speak so politely. Do not use words like hey. Instead, use hello or Mr. James, Miss Roberts, or any other form. So the second one, be a good listener. Don't cut in when people are speaking. Fine, you have something to say, you have something to add, you have an addition. Simply wait for the person speaking to conclude. You cutting in might portray you as a rude person. So try to employ good listening skills. Wait for the person to conclude before you add up your beliefs or any other thing that you want to say. The third one, use small words and short sentences. Brevity can be achieved. Be brief yet specific. Say what you want to say. Don't beat about the bush. Say whatever you want to say. Be short, be concise, use small words and short sentences that will hit right on the spot. The fourth one is that ask questions when you are in doubt. Avoid saying okay or I understand when you don't understand all that the person or the people are saying. It might be embarrassing when he asks you, can you please repeat what I said? And you are dumbfounded or you don't know what to say. So when you are in doubt, ask questions. Number 5, take charge of your emotions and body language. Do not let anything you're feeling or how sad you are, don't let it overrule your communication at that moment. Try to compose yourself. All have one or two things that we are facing. Don't let that affect how you communicate with people. People shouldn't be able to point it out that you're facing something or you're not feeling fine with the way you communicate. And to achieve that, put a smile on your face. When you're communicating, I know it might sound funny, but try to smile when communicating with people. It is not even about hiding your feelings or your emotions now. But when you smile, the person you're communicating with will be relaxed. When you put on a stern face or a stern look, the person will feel unrelaxed, and that might affect your communication. So try as much as possible to smile as you communicate, though you don't need to smile in some cases when you're discussing something that is bad or discussing the death of someone. When you're discussing the death of someone, you don't need to smile, but make the person you're communicating with relaxed around you. By making them relaxed, they will feel happy, they will feel comforted, and they will be glad to have that conversation with you. But when you put on a stern look, they won't feel so relaxed, and they'll be looking for ways to end the communication and go away. I hope you understand. On communication, I'll be talking about how communication problems happen. So communication problem refers to misunderstanding and misinterpretation of other people's meaning while talking or speaking. It is the opposite of effective communication. So the list outlines some of the most common communication problems along with how to address them. So the first one is cultural differences. You should know that everyone can't speak the English language. This is not to speak bad about them, but that is the fact. English language is not our native language. So when you want to speak with people that you know can't speak English language fluently, you can try as much as possible to reduce the way you use your big words. Try to come down to their level. If possible, you can adopt the pidgin English, or you speak the Nigerian standard English with them to make room for effective communication. The second one is interrupting the speaker. If you can recall, I said you should be a good listener. So the solution to this is allowing them to speak. When you're speaking with people, allow them to complete what they're trying to say before you interrupt them. So the next is poor listening skills. It is synonymous with the second one. Allow people to speak before you add up opinions. Before you add up your opinions, allow people to speak. The next is lack of motivation. Communication is a skill. Effective communication is a skill. So don't feel sad when people speak down on you that you can't speak well. You need to motivate yourself. And to motivate yourself, you can reach out to English coaches or English confidence coaches or a communication expert who will help you with tips that can keep you speaking confidently even when people are trying to make you feel less of yourself. It is a great work when you want to communicate well, despite the hurdles, despite the challenges you have. So my admonition is that do not give up even when you don't sound so good. Practice, constant practice will make you perfect. So keep up speaking, keep up opening up, keep up letting people know how you feel. So strive to communicate effectively. Let people know your feelings, your ideas, your beliefs in a polite manner. On how communication problems happen, allowing emotions to take over. If you can recall, I told you no matter what you're facing, no matter the challenges you're going through, no matter the circumstances, try as much as possible to keep your emotions in check by putting a smile upon your face. You understand? Do not let people know that you're passing through a phase by the way you're communicating. So let's move on to the common grammar errors. Dear learner, you aren't a native English speaker in the sense that you are an English language learner. So you are bound to making mistakes. Don't castigate or fustigate yourself whenever you make mistakes, because it is bound to happen. So understanding some of the most common grammar mistakes can help you improve your writing and speaking skills. So let's get right into it. The first one, we have runny and running. Runny, running. So we use runny for semi-liquid or liquid that tends to flow or run, while running is the act of a person or an animal that runs. I will pronounce the two words. The first one, runny, is running. The second one, running, is running. So the visitor feels uncomfortable because of his running nose. You don't say running nose, rather you say running. It's semi-liquid that is flowing out of the nose. Running nose. Ikedia likes running every day. Turn off the running water. You don't say running water, rather you say runny water. Fatal accident versus ghastly accident. So when an accident is fatal, it involves the death of all or some of the people involved in the accident. And when an accident is ghastly, it doesn't involve the death of some or all of the people involved in the accident. Rather, they were injured. So the simple trick that can help you to remember this is that fatal, deaths, fatal, deaths, ghastly, injury. So when you talk about fatal, deaths, ghastly, injury. Third example, we have take or bring light and disrupt or restore power. NEPA takes light every Monday is wrong. NEPA disrupt the power supply every Monday is right. So you don't say take or bring light, you say disrupt or restore power. NEPA will soon bring light is wrong, but NEPA will soon restore the light is right. Lastly, we have vigil and night vigil. Vigil is the correct word. Night vigil is wrong. Vigil means a period of staying awake, especially at night, to keep watch or pray. So you don't go to night vigil, rather you go for vigil. You go for a vigil. This is all about effective communication and common grammar errors. One, because there will be part 2 for this video. If you learned one or two things, kindly drop your questions in the comment section. I will surely respond to the questions. Hearty thanks to you for watching this video. I really appreciate you. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and put on your notification bell to get notified whenever I put up a new video. I'll see you next time. Thank you.